maybe focusing on the match we're casting tonight, maybe a bit now, since I put a thread out there, guys, like asking for feedback on my casting on Reddit and ESEA forums, and a lot of people were asking that they wanted to hear a little bit more talk about the teams and a little bit more background information and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to do that as well as maybe talk about the map a little bit. Some other people asked about that as well, so I'm trying to improve, and I'm taking your feedback and I'm trying to throw it into the streams here over at ESEA TV. So maybe we want to hash out these two teams tonight, Holden. That sound good?
Yeah. I was just about to tweet out to people that we are live because I haven't
Cool.
done that
We'll
yet.
go for it.
But yeah, so go ahead. Let's go through these rosters and talk about how these teams came to be, because these are Lunatik's one who's gone on over a considerable change, which you talked about because we've casted them a lot this season actually. But then Area51 is a team that maybe not everyone's super familiar with either.
Right, so Lunatic Esports, basically, they're the former Never Good Enough from last season. They did make some roster changes, though. Monty left the team, went to go play with his buddy Frost and company over on Homeless and ESEAP. With that move, they decided to pick up Shazam temporarily during the ESO1 Cologne North American Online qualifiers, since his team at the time, which was Justice, was not playing in that qualifier. However, things worked out really well in that qualifier. You know, they got second place in it, which of course didn't really mean anything for the qualifier because you had to win first to get the spot, so second really meant nothing. But in reality, they still played really well. They beat some good teams on the way to lose to High Power in the finals there, and things were working out, and they just clicked, and so Shazam wound up joining on a more permanent basis. They also decided to pick up Fugly after another player had left the team. Slips my mind who that was, but Fugly was somebody they were planning on playing with last season before they picked up Russian Mospec. Of course, that didn't work out. Then they lose Monty, they lose somebody else. That slips my mind once again. But so Fugly was already on their radar from last season. They went ahead and picked him up as their fifth for this season. And of course, you are going to have Daps, Juvenile, and NAF return. With that being said, they are currently ranked number 2 right now in ESEA Invite with a 4-1 record. Just to note, Area 51 is ranked number 3 right now, also with a 4-1 record. Now, granted, these standings for Invite are, I guess, a bit skewed, since Cloud9 and iBuyPower have not been around to play their matches. ESL1 Clone, iBuyPower has missed a couple, as of course they've been gone for a couple of weeks now between G3 and their boot camp, and now Cologne, and Cloud9 has missed a couple of matches as well, as they left for Cologne last week. So I guess you could say the standings aren't really like super finite. Also, it's really early in the season, so once again that also kind of skews results a little bit. But either way, basically what I'm trying to tell you is that both these teams are still performing pretty well, as they have 4-1 records. I mean, really the only loss that Lunatic has actually suffered is at the hands of iBuyPower. Whereas Area 51, the only loss that they have suffered is actually against Cloud9. Both these teams have wins against Exertus and Netcode Guides. So basically, they're looking pretty sharp against some of the other playoff contenders in the league outside of iBuyPower and Cloud9. Lunatic also doing really well in SIVO. I think they're ranked number 3 over there with only a couple of losses, one of them to iBuyPower. The other one in a close against Savage. As far as Mirage goes for them, they only played it once in SIVO, and that was against Justice. They won 16-13, very close game. Area 51, on the other hand, lost both their Mirage matches, once to Cloud9, one to Netcode, and they were pretty one-sided losses in SIVO. But Area 51's kind of weird because, this will be a transition to Area 51, they're kind of using 2 different rosters, so to speak, between SIVO and ESEA, but I guess the match is about to start, so I don't really have a whole lot of time to go deep into that. I'll try to plug it in during the pistol rounds, though, if I have the ability.
Yeah, no, that was solid. Hardest working man, NA, dropping the knowledge pregame.
Yeah, right, so let's get into this pistol round here on 51. They will be starting out on the CT side. They did get side selection for this map, and it is going to be Nitro, Disciple, Lawson, Arya, and Darky, which is actually a new pickup for Area 51. And then for Lunatic, it is going to be Nav, Juvenile, Shazam, Daps, and Fugly. So you are going to see those standard smokes on the stairs in jungle as the terrorists are going to enter into the side. However, Disciple and Arya not being phased by it too much. As you can see, they're fitting in some of those USP frags through here, and they actually have a huge advantage leading Fugly in a 1-on-4. And that's talking about strategy on Mirage. That's something you're going to see quite a lot. I don't know if you want to bring up the minimap, but you're always going to see a smoke on top of those stairs on the executions. It blocks off vision from those guys peeking lower ramp and side entry, as well as apartments, like people coming in from Palace. You'll also see another smoke right next to it to block off jungle and connector vision. And then you're always going to see a smoke probably in CT spawn as well. It's just kind of standard executions. The only way that'll change is if you're trying to do maybe some numbers coming through mid on top of all that, and then maybe you'll get rid of those smokes on stairs and such. and not use them.
Yeah. Sorry, just reading the chat, make sure everything's good. It looks like the stream is running solid tonight, so that's a first in the last 3 I've done.
So you're not fat fingering IPs and, you know, things of that nature.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, of course, Lunatik is actually getting kind of mopped up in this round, I guess, to be expected, though maybe not necessarily expected. A lot of days you'll see teams buy up CZs and stuff like that and come up with something, but in this case it won't happen. 51 out 2-0. Now going back to 51 a bit, like I was kind of saying, they kind of use 2 different rosters. I think they use Mo for a lot of their CVO matches, whereas they obviously can't use him for ESEA due to his ban that he received, which I think still has probably a good 7+ months on it or something like that, so he definitely won't be around for them this season, and I guess most of next season as well, if they like stick together as a team or whatever.
Does it really have that much left?
I mean, he got banned at like in the middle of last season, which was like 3-4 months ago, so yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you might be right. I thought it was a little less than that. I was thinking he might be able to squeeze in next season, but no, you might be right. But as Lunatic's trying to come out here and be just getting mowed down again, but they're sneaking bomb A and it's gonna get picked up right.
Yeah, Darky's just waiting here, and that's the one corner that people never check. It seems like I've seen so many people get caught by players hiding in that little corner, like right next to the fireboxes or hazard, whatever you want to call it, and people get caught on that just so much. It's like one of those good surprise spots that's good for maybe like 1 or 2 rounds out of the half. And then eventually the other team's obviously going to catch on to it and start checking it more often. So yeah, maybe be on the lookout for that quite a bit. But looks like we're going to have our first gun round here, but it's not quite a full one, I guess you could say. I mean, 51 is holding on to their FAMASs, which is not a bad idea. It's economical. There's no real need to upgrade just yet. The FAMASs can still pose a threat, and it allows you to bank even more cash and to ensure yourself another buy later on if you need it.
Yeah, and as we're saying that, so they're actually going to throw out those smokes and do that A execution, as you said, that first gun round, so they get that smoke up on stairs and then ones across the CT and jungle there, and now they're going to execute with guns this time and see if it works out a little bit better than that pistol round.
Yeah, all the CTs can really do is just kind of wait back and play a retake, but their grenades are doing a lot of work. You see Lawson picking up a kill there with the incendiary. Nitro also able to fit in a FAMAS frag. Bomb has been planted. You see Juvenile actually making a huge maneuver all the way through mid the connector. His team's really going to have to fight for time while he makes this big flank, and in fact the defuse is probably going to take place before he even has a chance. He even realizes it and has to come all the way back to A ramp. But Shazam has already been taken out as well, and so now Juvenile is in a 1 versus 3. He comes out, and he's not going to be able to get the diffuser in time, and you have to think a little bit of a mental mistake there from Juvenile. I mean, either, yeah, you already made the mistake of taking that long-ass run all the way through mid to mid connector, but you're already halfway there, so you might as well complete that run instead of second-guessing yourself and coming back up the way that he did through A apartments, or palace, as you would call it. That was a bit of a mishap, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if he thought more of his team was alive than they were. You know, it'd be one thing if they still had all 5 up, right? And then you go for that big flank, because you got 4 to hold the site at that point. But with only 2 and the positioning of them, it's kind of ill-conceived to try to come all the way around. And as you said, then he had to backtrack and was just way too late at that point. And Fugly gets picked off in apartments there really early.
Yeah, that was just rough. His team could not buy enough time for him to make that long of a flank. But once again, they're going to be going for that same A execution. This time it's working out loads better, not getting caught by any grenades right off the bat. They've been able to get all the frags except for one when Futley was taken out early on in the round, but they definitely do get the bomb planted. They have full control of the bomb site. We see a nice flank coming in at A ramp here from Disciple, but he only gets 1 kill out of it, leaving Lawson in a 1-on-3. And he already takes a crap ton of damage there as he's down to just 3 HP, so he's going to go ahead and just try to save this M4. I'm not sure if he'll get chased or not. Terrace was kind of sitting inside the site. There's one person kind of in the area who might be able to press into window room and challenge him here a bit. But other than that, it's definitely going to be finally Lunatic getting their first round of the half, as it will be now 4-1. And it definitely didn't come a moment too soon. They really needed it, as Area 51 is kind of starting to get a little bit far ahead. But good timing there for Lunatic to finally pick up a round. This actually is going to force some drops here from the 51 side, so starting to knock away and chip away at 51's money, I guess.
Yeah, you know, I think that round worked out just a little bit better. As I said, Fugly went over towards those B apartments early, and even though he got picked really quick, I think it put just enough shadow of a doubt in Area 51 that they weren't, you know, they weren't ready for that quick A execution, which is what Lunatic did. Basically, as soon as Fugly died, they threw those smokes and took the A site, and I think that's what allowed them to not quite be ready to throw those nades and get the early damage down on Lunatic as they were moving in.
Yeah, Lunatic's now shifting gears more towards mid and upper B. You'll see this happen sometimes too. Usually this just means that you're going to see lots of smokes in the window room and the mid connector, so you can try to get up Cat. Or, you know, of course, some type of smokes being thrown from the back of upper B into the B bomb side, as well as flashes up. Trying to interject a little bit of talk about strategy for maybe some of the newcomers here that are watching the stream. Without we're going to break any records like we did with ESEA Cologne, but there may be some new folks out there, and so I try to give you a little mixture of strategy and just basic play-by-play. As we can see, there are 4 members left here from Lunatic Esports, 3 of them gathered up inside upper B, including the bomb carrier, one still kind of lurking at mid. Now there is one CT in a B that is going to be Disciple here with the Silence Sim 4, and he's going to be playing over here towards the van. He will jump peek, he spots 3 people, and now he's going to make the call and just try to see if he can bail himself out of kind of bad positioning, and Daps is going to catch him on it. Arya able to get a kill of himself here from the kitchen, gets a second kill as well, so keeps the advantage for 51. As Lunatic only has 2 members left here, trying to get something done inside the site. Fugly bringing it back here with 2 nice frags of his own. And so Nitro, the tides have turned yet again, leaving him in a 1-on-2 as he will be making his way up the catwalk here. Bomb planted inside the site. He does spot Naf over here towards the bench, but also has to worry about Fugly, who's going to be playing over towards the van. Now Nitro does have an incendiary left, so he might be able to use that to flush this bench player out. That's what he goes for, but he misses it. And did he damage himself a little bit? I'm not sure if quite ran into it, but he definitely did not get what he was intending with that fire grenade. And with that being said, he is going to lose that 1 versus 1 against Naf, which means another round will go to Lunatic, making the overall score now 4-2.
All right, and when those 2 rounds picked up, and you know the amount of damage that they've been doing at 51, 51 is going to have to save just by a. I thought maybe some nades and whatnot to give themselves a little bit. Yeah, one person has armor, and one person has a flash. So, and a CZ75. So they do a little bit of buy because they have some money, but they are going to have to save here. So this is good for Lunatic to be able to put something together as they're going to work that mid again, smoke up the window and the catwalk and try to push up one more time.
They're actually pushing up A ramp as well very, very aggressively, and they already pressed up all the way into T-spawn. Fugly is going to catch this though, grabs the frag onto Nitro. But yeah, like you said, these little $300 investments with CZs aren't that big of an investment at all, and it still gives you a chance to win. Especially as a CT, you get to pick whether you get those close range fights or not based on your positioning. And so it's worth just to spend $300, get a CZ, and put yourself in a situation where you are going to get in a close range battle, most likely, and then that gives you a decent chance at, you know, picking up maybe a rifle and making a magical play or something like that. So CZs, while they have been nerfed in a previous patch, I think that's probably been a couple of months now or so, still very dangerous to deal with.
Yeah. Now this is something you might know about because I'm not super familiar with all the players on 51. So they didn't have any money that round to buy an op anyways. But is anyone on their team really pick up the op on a regular basis? Because this is a map where an op can be very valuable, whether it be playing from connector or that window to hold down the mid area.
I mean, of course, they use Mo as an opper and Sivo pretty predominantly. However, with their ESEA lineup, I mean, I know Lawson's capable. I know I've seen Arya pick it up at times. I know I've seen Disciple pick it up at times. So it'll be one of those 3 dudes probably, but it's never a consistent like buy for them. They kind of rifle more often than not with this particular lineup that they use for ESEA. As we are going to see Lunatic actually spilling over here into the B-bomb site yet again, trying to see if they can get the same success that they had in the previous round. And so far it's looking kind of even, you know, 3-on-3 situation, everyone at full HP that is left in the server here. But Nitro will pick up the kill onto Shazam at Cat, and so this will kind of give 51 a bit of an advantage as they try to make with the bomb is down. Naf going to be playing over here towards the... Also going to have Daps up here over towards that catwalk cubby. As Nitro will be making his way that way. Arya going to be able to catch Naf here at the bench, and so that is going to leave just Daps all alone here on Cat. He grabs 1, but then will fall to Darky, and so 51 finally going to go ahead and pick themselves up a round after a 3-round scoring drought and secure the lead. Make sure Lunatic can't tie things up as the score is now 5-on-3. 5-3, whatever.
Yeah, that was just a really solid retake by 51, and it kind of fell apart for Lunatic because Shazam was playing that sort of late rotation help. He was there in mid trying to come up cat real late. I believe it was Nitro was crossing over in the window as he was approaching up the catwalk, and Shazam didn't pick up that kill. And as soon as they did that, then at that point, Area 51 had both control of cat and the kitchen area, which was just too much for Lunatic to be able to hold on to. So this round, they're going to split up a bit more and probably try to play it picks across the board, and I wonder if that's Fugly back there in the apartments.
This is one of the first times I think this half that we've seen Lunatic not really have like a full execution strat right off the bat. They're playing a lot more pick oriented, as you mentioned. I guess maybe there was one round where they were kind of a bit more pick oriented over at mid, but the 2 rounds before this one they were really B heavy, they're really A heavy in the first few rounds, and so they're kind of slowing things down a little bit here, being a bit more patient, and like you said,
gonna do this
kind of
take again.
Yeah, they are.
It's the same. So it's the same thing they did the last time when Ugly went apartment, but he got picked last time. This time he just threw the smokes, and now they were ready for it though, stacked up on the A side underneath the balcony there.
Yeah, 51's ready for this. They're all playing inside the site. They realize these smokes are going to seal them off, and they're going to have to wait and play retake. So they decide to kind of stack underneath the balcony and inside the site. And so far, it's been kind of an even exchange, but slightly in favor of 51 now after that last frag. But oh my goodness, Shazam for great hop frag there onto Disciple through the smoke. But he is left alone in a 1-on-2. A little bit of time left. He's got 28 seconds to play around with him. Both players are pretty low, and he does have a CZ he can switch to. So he might be able to make a play out of this. There's going to be one over towards the stairs and one inside Palace. He knows one's inside Palace after seeing that grenade as well, but he's going to get shot in the back from Lawson, committing a bit too much there to the peak on the Palace player and not providing enough attention there to the other player that he had to worry about. But yeah, so 51, just like I said, stacking inside the site. They also did a great job delaying, I wish I could talk, with the incendiary grenade, and then having some sick counter flashes. Great job there for 51.
I'm just wondering, so basically looking at the money situation after that round, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't go ahead and ask Shazam just to save that op, because then they could have picked up CZ75s. Like, they got a couple of them now, but if they had the op and those, that gives you a chance to win this round, whereas now you're just kind of pushing out and you're going to get mowed over. Maybe.
I mean, in reality, they could have forced Galil's in armor, too.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess, like...
It's a winnable
so early on,
situation,
maybe you don't
right?
want to take that risk.
I mean, it's a 1v2. It's not like it's a 1v3 or 4, but...
I mean, you're right. That definitely was an option for them, maybe for just them just to go ahead and save that, and then they could have either A, forced Galil's in armor and nades and still had like a pretty much a straight setup, or... You know, like you even said, they could have just got CZs on some of their players and had the op and had like still a decent chance of maybe making something happen. The only thing I can think of is maybe because they knew that they had some low health players, and 1v2 is pretty winnable when you have a health advantage. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of.
But Shazam still had the op on his back.
Right.
So at that point, the health advantage is kind of nil, right?
Yeah, I mean, he had the CZ. I don't know. We could pick that apart all day long. Yeah. Who knows? But it looks like they are once again going for their kind of standard A execution with the smokes over on stairs and jungle. But they don't have a CT spawn smoke, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter, as Juvenile's still able to pick up the kill there onto Darky and secure this bomb plant. Meanwhile, Disciple and Lawson kind of sitting behind this wall of smoke, so waiting for them to dissipate. So they can try to attempt the retake. And actually, no. I really don't think they are. I think they're just going to try to save these M4s and kind of fall back, maybe look for exits. They still have a decent lead, so there's no real worry or need to force anything here just yet in the first half. So definitely just going to go ahead and look to save these guns, maybe pick up some exit frags. But yeah, I mean, this has been a very back and forth match. I mean, even if you look at the graph and see how the rounds have kind of gone, you can see, you know, 4 rounds, 1 in a row for 51 following the pistol round victory and the opening gun round victory. Then all of a sudden Lunatic finds 3 gun rounds of their own in a row. And then Area 51 comes right back after they forced an eco onto Lunatic, winning 3 rounds in a row on their own. Guns. Yeah, that's another point to make. And now Lunatic is back on their own round 1. So we're going to see another 3-round winning streak, or are we going to see 51 contest it right off the bat? Be curious to see. Looks like 51's going to have to eco, so they're not going to have that ability really to contest right off the bat.
Yeah. They were just wandering the map with those guns. I'm really confused, but I'll let it go. It's another one of those where had they been a little safer with it, they have 2 rifles, they pick up the CZs again, and then it's a winnable round. But I guess, again, you buy the CZs, you still have a chance to win even without those rifles. But you are on much more of a save this round than you would have been, and you have less nades as well, right? So you could have bought up some nades. Now you have none, which nades are huge when you only got the pistols on your back.
This is definitely a change-up from Lunatik. They actually smoked off Cat and Window instead of smoking off Connector, and they're using this to try to let Shazam get picks from Catwalk with the op through the Connector into the A site. Unfortunately, he got taken down. But it's still a 4-on-4 here, but 51, of course, on the Eco, so they are at the slight disadvantage here, as we do see another kill coming in from Naf. Fugly also clearing Darky out of the Palace. Nitro trying to fight back here as he's able to get a frag onto Juvenile, and he has Daps down to low HP. Same with Naf. This is actually not the safest situation. The bomb's actually down in mid. CTs realize it. This is actually pretty dangerous because an AK, or no, excuse me, an op has been picked up by Disciple. Oh, immediately caught by Naf, though, before he can make anything out of it. That's unfortunate. But Nitro still has this AK over here towards the underpass. He hears these guys running around mid. He hears the bomb being collected, and now he's going to try to peek out and take an opportunity, but he will get caught by Fugly. But I have to say, for, a save round there, Area 51 made that a bit interesting.
Yeah, and it's really worth noting, and you mentioned it, it's been back and forth, but not only has it been back and forth, but the rounds have been close. I mean, other than a save round here or there that just, has been wiped, none of them, they're not, you're not seeing anyone dominate on either side, and you're always seeing, 2 versus 2 left towards the end, and so no one's really been able to build up their economy either, which I think part of what reason we're seeing it go back and forth is because no one's had such strong rounds after rounds. They just haven't built up any money at all, so if they lose a couple, they're forced, they can't, afford to lose really one, because if they drop any players the next round, they're going to be saving for, 2 rounds in a row, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a perfect observation. That's exactly what's taking place. That's Shazam able to get the op pick finally over here from Cat, and Naf also picks up Disciple over at the ladder room, so Lunatic starting off things pretty well. Just to note what you're talking about, no one's really dominating. I mean, look at the frag distribution on the scoreboard. It's really tight, with the exception of maybe Darky, who's a bit behind the rest of his team. But other than that, the frags are really tight. No one's really being a standout player. It's pretty much dead even. The scoreboard reflects it. The player KD ratios in comparison to one another reflect it. It's definitely a nitty-gritty match, so to speak, as Juvenile is going to get this plant over here at the A-bomb site. He's going to be planting 4 connector and stairs, which is where all of his teammates are going to be located, so good holding positions for this type of plant, as we do see 2 CTs trying to make it through spawn. Lawson just kind of sitting outside the window room here, because they're going to take the peek from Palace with the op. Misses his first shot. And Lawson, in the meantime, catches Naf and win the room. Darky also catches a frag. Shazam still whiffing the shots here with the op, which is giving the retake a threat. Shazam finally landing onto Lawson, though, but Darky trades right back on the Fugly. He's going to get on the bomb. He does not have a kit. Oh, no. Did his teammate have one? I guess no one did. That's rough. If he would have had a kit, he probably wins that. Don't be a loser. Buy a diffuser.
Yeah, so now if you're Area 51, so a few rounds ago we said they're not worried about it, they're going to save their guns, they have a decent lead, nothing to stress about. Well, now all of a sudden it's 7-6, they're on another eco, they only have 1 rifle on their team, potentially gets to 7-7, and that's not really the position you want to be going in the second half of Mirage. As Shazam gets the quick pick on Disciple, who is trying to push up with a CZ75 to give them that close range advantage, and they're pushing up mid as well, and Fugly, with his strong rifle that's been so good all season long, picking up 3 more.
Yep, another eco round. And that's the thing, like, we've seen some interesting save rounds, but we haven't necessarily seen the saving team actually win the round. So basically why it's led to such a close score, because both teams have been, like you said, unable to really bank up a lot of cash. I mean, yeah, they're winning a few rounds in a row, which leads to the other team getting, a 3-round, 4-round loss bonus, but then they win a round, and then they go on their own winning streak before they lose. And so it's just really led to like I said, a kind of a stalemate almost, 7-on-7, as now the mid-aggression, I had like a hiccup there. Mid-aggression from the CT side actually does pan out this time around, though we do see Lunatic still being able to secure an A-bomb side take here. Bomb being planted, Nap getting 1, Arya making the direct trade on 3, Daps catching a kill onto Arya, Daps catching a second frag onto Lawson, and so it looks like we might see Lunatic secure the half, but by the closest margin of victory possible at 8-7. which basically means that this is still anyone's game. It's really hard to determine at this point. I mean, I guess most teams kind of... I don't really know, actually, what teams prefer in North America as far as, like, what side they like best. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen more matches go CT-sided, I guess, in North American matches. Especially the ones that I've casted, usually the CT team wins the most rounds. And I guess most people would say Mirage is maybe slightly CT-sided, but, man, those A executions can be really hard to deal with as CTs, with those smokes and stuff, so I don't really know. I think it's actually more balanced maybe than people think.
Yeah, I think it is, because if you get like you said, you get those smokes down, then you're forced to play back, unless you play an aggressive CT side anyways, where you're pushed up, you know, towards Tetris with a rifle or underneath balcony, and then you kind of avoid those smokes. But otherwise, the only other option you really have to help you on that retake is potentially try to push really quick through the B side and come wrap around to give yourself the support from the Palace or A ramp. But that takes a long time to come around, so if you get the smokes right, it is pretty much a free plant into the A bomb site as they are executing there right now.
Yeah, they're going in naked, though. I mean, no real smokes or flashes or anything. Now we finally see a smoke on CT spawn, but Nitro's already pressed through, gotten a kill on the Fugly, but Naf playing so patient at that ticket booth to wait it out and make sure Lunatik keeps the advantage here. So we are going to see him step up on top of the ticket booth and deliver some shots here onto the Tetris player. Does a lot of damage, but still CTs have not been able to break through and actually get into the site. Lawson still kind of hold them off. Disciple also chiming in with the kill onto Shazam. 2-on-2 situation here. Already getting the kill onto Naf, and it's looking like it's going to be all up to Juvenile. He doesn't even have time. He doesn't have a kit. There's no way he wins this anymore. He's just kind of maybe seeing if he can get a couple of more frags to his name. And he'll definitely make sure that Arya dies with the bomb. And he'll actually just get the frag. So yeah, good win there for Area 51 in the pistol round. That is going to tie up the game at 8-all. And it definitely gives them a chance to maybe press this to a 10-8 lead for themselves. Unless we see, of course, like a CZ buy that works out for Lunatic.
Yeah, that was actually really interesting. So my assumption there is that Area 51 is, on pistol rounds, you'd expect the CTs to play a little more aggressively, right? So you'd expect them to push up maybe towards under balcony or up closer on ramp. And so if those smokes you would throw might not be as effective. So if you go in late and they are playing back, well, then you can throw the smokes late, which is what they were trying to do. They held off that CT for a long time with 3 guys there by just placing a smoke. Turned out not to matter in the end.
I wonder if it's really more of a, like, I'd rather play a P2K at range against the Glock, so I'm going to stick back in CT spawn.
That could be. Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, you put yourself at risk of getting smoked off and giving up a free plant and having the play retake, yes, but maybe that's a risk you're willing to take. I don't really know. Maybe that's something we could ask later on down the road. But either way, we are going to see 51 going ahead and buying up AKs and a Galil here. Definite investment here from Lunatic, though. They have a Mag 7. They have a couple of players with head armor, upgraded pistols on everyone. So, you know, this is actually a pretty heavy investment for themselves in the second round here of the half. So definitely trying to go for it here and now. And so far, they have not been able to pick up anything, only dealing a little bit of damage to Lawson. And other than that, Area 51 gets the bomb plant at A. And now, of course, they're just going to save the armor that they have and the guns that they have. And once again, try to contend with the type of halfway invest into the next round, possibly. I mean, the Mag 7 with armor can definitely be very dangerous up close on A ramp, or like a Palace push, or maybe even push into underpass and try to catch someone pressing down from upper B. I mean, there's all kinds of different scenarios where you can try to put that Mag 7 in a close range situation and cause some havoc. And so that may be what they look to do here in the next round. And of course, they'll have Naf and Fugly also with head armor and upgraded pistols and grenades. And so they could definitely make some type of play out of the next round if 51's not careful. But yeah, we are going to see right now a 9-8 in favor of 51.
Yeah. So, I didn't see the first Area 51's first round. I'm wondering now if part of the reason they didn't smoke off is because if they did almost just a completely no buy at all. And they only had maybe the one guy or something that bought up some nade because they were able, with the plant, to buy up the AKs and the armor. And I'm trying to think, money-wise, that might be that they just didn't buy very much at all that first round, and that's why they went in without the smokes. But anyways, so here we are. Where's this?
Juvenile has a real chance here to cause some damage, as he is going to be upper B. And, I Well, I guess the bomb's actually maybe working mid to A or mid to Cat. Not really sure. So maybe he won't really get a chance to get up close. He's definitely going to get a chance to get up close against Darky. Darky's definitely... Well, no, Darky's actually now going underpass instead of upper B, so I guess Juvenile is going to be pretty much a non-factor up close with the Mag 7, which is, I guess, a bit unlucky, but that's just kind of what you have to do, is just kind of gamble, get an up-close spot, and hope they come your way, but it's not going to be the case. They're definitely looking, like I said, to maybe work some type of mid to A. Daps is definitely hearing this and calling for the rotations right now. Meanwhile, Fugly is pretty much going to be smoked off from doing anything, but he'll rotate around and catch Aria at the jungle, so Lunatik opening up so far pretty decent. Nitro catching Fugly in the side, Lawson also chiming in with the kill onto Daps, and so now 51 starting to bring it back, but Juvenile actually gets the bomb down with that Mag 7 frag. Now he does have low HP, and he will get caught by Disciple, but he's definitely causing things to be a bit tough here for 51 as another kill comes in from the CZ of NAF. So now all of a sudden we have a 2-on-2. Time is ticking away. 51 has to make moves quick here as Shazam finds himself in a 1 versus 1. 11 seconds left. Nitro with the AK able to go ahead and secure the trades, and that's one good thing that happened there is, yeah, 51 did get caught by some CZ kills and some Mag 7 kills and things of that nature, but they never allowed someone to multi-frag on them. They always were able to trade it back. And that was definitely kind of the key.
Yep, and with that, we're going to see Shazam with that op on his back now. So I'm actually going to switch over. And he's actually... Yeah, he's going to jump into Palace here and try to see if he gets a pick. And he might get one.
Yeah, that's something to think about if you're an opper or you want to get aggressive. Go the route that Shazam just went. Don't, go up the ladder. Yeah, this is tense. Caught with the flash, but he gets a... Oh, did he? No.
Oh, wow. Getting a little aggressive there.
Yeah, he committed to that. That's for sure. He jumped all the way up there. Nav getting a boost, actually, right here behind the left side. Something else that maybe some newer players don't know about is this type of boost that we're seeing Fugly and company do over here at the CT spawn. For, like, any well-reasoned, experienced players, it's probably, like, common you knew about this. But maybe if you're, like... lower level matchmaking, you might not have seen this before, so this might pan out. This is not always the most common place to check whenever you come out of the palace or something like that, so he might be able to catch some type of cheeky frag onto somebody to start things off, so I kind of keep my eye on him. He's also not going to be phased by any smoke, which is really the other advantage from this this particular boost. As Arya gets the pick there onto Dats. Nat's still looking over here on the boost. Does spot one and does get the kill in the dark at the firebox. So the spot was one and he gets another spam kill into Lawson through the smoke. And so Naf definitely making the best out of that boost scenario that we were talking about there, as he does keep the advantage for Lunatik on a 3-on-2. And like I said, once again, it's getting a little bit late in the round. Disciple trying to force a plant here, but he is going to get shot out here from A-Ramp, which slows things down. Now he's going to go for the plant again. This time he will secure it, but the retake is coming in. Naf with another frag onto Nitro. A great round for him. A nice hat trick to add to his collection of frags in the match, as Lunatik will be able to chop onto the defuse and secure the round. Once again, keeping this game very close. No one has really been able, in the entirety of this match, to really win more than like 3 rounds in a row before the other team's knocking back at the door. So definitely a very back and forth game all the way through so far.
Yeah, and it's important to note there that they were able to really put a big presence on that A bomb site. Even after Shazam died in Palace, they still came around to put a big presence on that A bomb site because they were able to gather enough information on B. And I think it was a Juvenile pushing through B apartments, I believe. I'm not positive on that, but he was able to push up and get a lot of information that they weren't up there or towards mid, so they knew they were that A side, so they were able to come over and put a huge presence there, and that's how Naf gets the 2 early frags and really helped them out of the hole they were in by Shazam dying in Palace.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of on the edge of my seat, kind of waiting to see what's going to happen next. I mean, these two teams have been neck and neck the whole way through, and I can't see either team really having a clear advantage at this point based on the counter-strike that we've been seeing so far. So I'm curious who's finally going to go ahead and take charge and start pulling ahead and try to claim this match for themselves, or if we're going to just kind of keep seeing this ping-pong type back-and-forth deal all the way through the end. As right now the bomb has been dropped in T-spawn, as we're going to see kind of a split here. 3 towards mid, 1 A ramp, 1 upper A. I think that they want to work a mid to A split of some kind. That's why that bomb's still sitting in T-spawn. Or if it doesn't work out, they can bring that bomb back around. But it looks like they're definitely going for A. We've seen them do this strat before. just a few rounds ago, so they're definitely going for it again, and they do get an equal trade so far up the connector. Nitro steps out of Palace, grabs the kill onto Fugly. Shazam not landing his mark with the op on the first shot, but is going to hit it there on Disciple on the second, and Juvenile coming in onto Aria. Shazam with another, and so a double op setup here from Lunatik working out pretty well as they look to go ahead and tie this game up at 10-all, unless Lawson has anything to say about it. He put himself in a 1-on-3, and oh, that grenade just too perfect. No way he can escape that. And so he will go down, and it will be a tie at 10. And the scoreboard definitely tells the story here. Looking at the frags and looking at the rounds, I mean, it's this close. Isn't that nuts? The KD ratio for the first 3 players is almost exactly the same for both teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at that, and I was like, really, no one's out of this world, as we said earlier. It still remained that way. A couple people towards the bottom, but then you look at the top 3 of each team, and you're just like, whoa. So
like a mirror.
I am laughing. Oh, they're gonna get off here. I'll get to it in a second, as you can go ahead and cast this one away.
Yeah, Juvenile only able to get 1 frag out of it, but at least Daps is there to go ahead and make the trade, so Lunatic keeping the advantage. Bomb going to get planted here inside the B site. Nitro trying to make something work with the op, but Daps will catch him. And so Lunatic is looking to get the retake yet again here, as Daps will collect another frag onto Darky. He's looking for Van for yet another, and Daps with the quad kill, doing a great job. You know, following up Juvenile's initial pick and getting that initial trade, he was able to come up with 3 more. So just nice individual effort there from Daps over at B, and now we can get to what's making you chuckle.
Yeah, so the last time me and you casted together, my dog was making a lot of noise, and so I put him on stream. This time, I thought he's been pretty good. I don't think he'd been making too much noise. I didn't think he'd really...
This is collar or leash or whatever.
Oh, okay. There's someone in chat asking who was stroking their dog, and I was really confused because I didn't hear him bark.
It's his dog tags or whatever. It's like rattles when you pet him. But no, the barking has been non-existent, actually.
How
they
they
let him cast around, though. I'm totally ready for that.
Maybe it was just my dog tags, my collar.
Oh. Maybe. Maybe you're just stroking yourself. Whoa. That was... Have fun with that one, chat. Where's Stunna's bell? Ding! Like, yeah. There you go. Have fun with that one for a while.
Anyway, so Area51 here able to buy now after that save round. And, yeah, they just kind of went back to...
Am I getting fired for that? Just tell me now.
Yep, right now.
Okay. As we're going to see the execution here, those typical smokes that we were kind of seeing a lot from Lunatic over in the first half. 51 now using them as well. Lawson being kind of the solo lurker up mid as well to catch the rotates. And so far, it's working out pretty well. Naf once again going for this boost, but he's not able to spot anything with it this time around, so it's not going to work out. As Area 51 once again looking to try to tie this thing back up at 11 all. But Lunatic is still definitely looking for the retake here. They still have 4 players up, so they definitely still can contend. And with that op pick, they will equalize it as they will continue to try to work in on this retake here. And so far, it's working out pretty well until Disciple shut them all down with the triple kill with the AK. As now Shazam in a 1-on-2 here with the op at the sandwich gets caught up by Lawson. And so 51 will tie it up 11 all. And once again, back and forth like this whole match has been all the way through.
I brought up the graph here again just to show what's been going on, and something seems incorrect with it. Just a second. I think I'm... So it has been, and as we said, and it's mostly because neither team has just taken, gotten on a roll and just sort of won big any 2 rounds in a row. There's been rounds here there.
Pause?
Looks like it.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So there's been rounds here or there, but it's mostly been against ecos where we've kind of seen a wipe. But other than that, we haven't seen any 2 big wins in a row. And Shazam getting that early pick again, and this is where I'm wondering if they continue to get some of these early frags, if this is where Lunatic can take the advantage here late. And there's the dog.
There he is. That's what we were looking for. His chat's been relatively mild tonight. I'm surprised. I hiccuped up in the middle of a play-by-play round. I made a really bad joke that was unintentional, by the way. And they're being pretty quiet over there. As we have a little over 1,000 viewers, definitely appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thanks a bunch. As let's get into this round here. Like I said, tied 11-all situation. 51 with a slight advantage here on a 4-on-3. Bomb making its way into A, but Daps is going to equalize it to a 3-on-3. Like I said, that bomb is definitely looking to come up the air ramp. There is one CT still kind of in the area over there to try to stop this, and it's going to be NAF with the silence Tim 4. Still no noise being made from 51 just yet, so they don't really know for sure what's going on. But now they should have to see that smoke and flash here from Nitro to get into the under balcony position. And NAF will definitely kind of back up here. And the CT spawn, but gets caught before the rotation's able to make its way over, which means 51 will get the bomb plant uncontested and have a one-man advantage to defend against this retake here, as Juvenile is able to get the M4 headshot there onto Nitro. So now a 2-on-2. Dap's looking for more, but Darky will catch him from Hazard. And so now it's all up to Juvenile. Can he take the lead for Lunatic, or will it be for 51? Juvenile edging his way in here. He knows one's over towards Tetris. He spots him. He delivers a few bullets of damage, but something happened there, I think. Maybe that's what the pause was about. He seemed to have kind of frozen up or lagged or something and wasn't able to get any more bullets off and just got killed. Did that look weird to you too, or is that just me?
I didn't have, the camera wasn't on him. It was on
Disciple. Oh, awesome. Good job. Cool. I think, so for those of you who didn't see that, I think something glitched with Juvenile. Either he lagged for a sec or had some issue or something, because it definitely looked awkward from his point of view. Like he was just looking at someone, not even shooting for a couple of seconds before he died. It was really weird. Either way, it's going to be an eco round for Lunatic, which means a chance that we might finally see someone extend their lead a little bit before the other team ties it right back up, as Darky is so far clearing house here with a couple of frags over towards the underpass. And so the bomb is definitely looking to maybe come upper B. They start to be gathering in that area. Shazam trying to hold it off, but gets caught by Darky. So now all three frags going over to Darky. He's looking maybe to ace a little bit here. We'll have to see, as Fuckley and Daps are going to be left. But they seem pretty content on just kind of hanging back here. Darky might go chasing for frags, though. He's hungry. He wants the 5K. Can he find Fuckley over here in the spawn? That is the question. Oh, they didn't spot each other? Fuckley saw him. I don't know if Darky saw Fuckley, but Fuckley definitely saw Darky. And Aria will get the frag. Scumbag, no ace for you, bro. But Daps is still going to be up. Just kind of watching upper B exits. And like I said, 51 definitely will take the lead here, 13-11. But can they hold on to it, or will we see yet another comeback and tie?
Yeah, just seemed like really good awareness there by Darky early, actually, as he was pushing up apartments and then down to underpass. I'm not sure if someone mid spotted them, or if maybe he happened to hear him, but he did as he pushed down to underpass through that flash there instead, because there was 2 Lunatic members pushed up, and that's where he got his first 2 frags on that eco. They were pushed up into underpass, and either they got spotted or heard, or just really good awareness that they were going to be on an eco and that they may try that maneuver by Darky. But either way, he gets the first 2, the third one, and then they win the round, as Nap is going to push up here on mid and see if he can get Lawson, who is just hiding back. And nope, they don't see him, so they turn away.
Yeah, you'll see this sometimes. The CT team kind of open up with an aggressive mid push, either in underpass or just all the way up mid, just kind of hugging that cat wall on your left-hand side and just kind of working your way up for a peek. And they went for it there, but just didn't spot anything. And here comes another big execution here for 51 on the A-bomb site. Once again, Lawson, the solo lurker at mid to catch rotations. We've seen them run the strat a couple of times, and so far it's worked out pretty well for him, as once again Lawson catches the flank on the initial pick there onto Daps. As we're seeing a little bit of a boost happen here on the stairs. That's going to be interesting. Shazam was spotting it, but Arya still collects the frag, and the bomb is going to get planted. So it seems like we're finally starting to see a team pull ahead here. But maybe not quite, as Lunatic definitely still has a chance at maybe trying to contend against this. It's a 3-on-4, but it seems like there's a little bit of indecision whether or not they want to bail or go for it. I saw like one of the guys from CT Spawn start running back over towards B, then they ran back over towards A, and we see another frag happen, and then all of a sudden Lunatic is starting to run back to save again. And it seems like their final conclusion is just to go ahead and hold off and save these M4s to contend in the next round, which is definitely important because the money is not good at all. As you can see, 3 of their players are at $0. And so they need to have these M4s at least have something to work with to contend and prevent 51 from getting to that match point situation.
Yeah, I mean,
And nope.
You have to wonder, what I was going to say is you kind of have to wonder if, so that's what their initial thought was, right? So they said, okay, they've already got this site, we've got 3 guns up, and we're not going to have any money. So the initial thought might have been, okay, well, we'll just save. But then as they get a frag, they said, now that's where the indecision comes, right? Oh, well, we got one more, so now do we have the opportunity? And you don't want to get yourself, I think as soon as you have the thought, maybe we should save, you should probably just go ahead and do it, because you put yourself into weird positions already starting to rotate away. as Arya sees one here in B, and they're going to work that bomb.
Oh, that grenade pod. Didn't really do any damage, though, so not really that big of a deal. But it does slow them down a bit, allows the smoke to come up and hold them off even longer here at upper B. That is going to mean that Shazam is able to fit a FAMAS frag there through the window. And this, once again, just kind of puts 51 in a screeching halt from what they were looking to do over here towards the B side of the map. So they will go ahead and backtrack with this bomb here and bring it back over towards T-spawn. And they could return to B, but they definitely could throw some type of fake and now hit A based on where the bomb is positioned and based on the fact they have a dude kind of slowly working his way up the catwalk. So I'm curious to know if it's going to be an A fake. If it is going to be, doesn't seem like anybody from Lunatik is biting on it just yet, as they still do have like 3 players in the A area. They're finally starting to fall off in this TT spawn, but they're still leaving NAF behind to watch. So I don't think Disciple is going to be able to get this. Nope.
No, he's
yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to anchor one there. They know. The bomb hasn't been planted in B yet. You're wondering why it hasn't, and this is why. Because they're going for an A fake, and it's just not going to get, not going to happen, as Lunatic is able to sniff it out and put a halt to it. And so, yeah, I mean, just, even though it was kind of a mixed buy from Lunatic, I mean, they had like a Nova and some FAMASs, it definitely wasn't looking too good for them. They're able, well, partially, 51 kind of messed themselves up with a botched grenade that slowed things down, which gave, you know, Shazam and Juvenile time to prepare a little bit more for the B hit and get a smoke out and things of that nature. And then they had some indecision after all that, tried to fall back off upper B, tried to throw a fake, you know, naffed it and fall for it. He was waiting there the whole time for it. And yeah, so now all of a sudden it's 12-14 and we're back to, once again, a situation where this game is just kind of back and forth.
Yeah, and I mean, the good thing is for Area 51 is they had won enough in a row that they actually had built an economy and they didn't have to save here. So they've got guns again, but they will.
Yep.
Which has been sort of a trend in Invite, which is really nice. There's been a lot of close matches so far this season that we've casted, which is really nice to see.
I've only casted like one-sided match, I think, and I think that was like a premiere match. I've casted a few premiere matches that have also been pretty close, so yeah, it's definitely been a lot of close matches. I guess I've just been lucky picking matches that I cast, and they could become close.
But as we look across the map here, they are kind of spread up. This is spread out. Excuse me. This is the default they've been doing over and over again. Lawson will be in mid, going to rotate up here late as they start to execute on that site.
Will they catch on this time, I wonder, and like be waiting for Lawson? Because he's literally gotten a frag every single time for free on these flanks. Yep, they are watching for him. Shazam's going to catch him there from the mid connector, but it's still a 51 A-site take and still a bomb play coming unless Dats can disrupt it from CT spawn, but he cannot get the frag quite in time. Darky's still able to get the bomb plant there, but Lunatic's still poised to try to make this retake, but Disciple shutting it down here, making it a 2-on-2. Juvenile is going to be on this flank. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think anyone's paying attention to this. Yeah, Nitro got destroyed. Disciple now alone inside the site with very low HP. And Shazam is going to catch him there, and the bomb will be defused, and it will be 13-14. And as you said, a 51, not looking, well, no, they can still buy. I don't know what you were talking about. I got the bomb, you, man. Yeah, that's true. That's 100% the reason right there.
So,
ding ding.
So with that, they get the bomb plant, and they had enough, because when I looked at it, I think it was just but with that bomb plant, obviously they've got enough with an op and everything on their back, so they're okay. And
it doesn't matter. I mean, I think they'll still be able to buy even with the loss here as long as they can get another bomb plant or get a few frags. It's actually the CT side that's a little bit in trouble. As you can see, one guy with $0, one guy with 100, two guys like below 2,000. So I mean, if 51 wins this round, Lunatic's gonna have a really tough buy next round. I mean, they'll be able to buy, but it won't. There'll be a couple of players who might not be able to get like a full. Oh my God, is this real? Disciple and Fugly right next to each other inside the smoke grenade. I love seeing those awkward situations because we're graced with the power of X-Ray, and we just see these really weird, awkward situations inside smoke sometimes. It's always a treat. But anyway, back to what's actually happening here as the bomb is making its way through upper B. There is still Juvenile jump peeking here from the van. Naf not leaving A. He's been pretty disciplined on anchoring here and not over-rotating and making sure they don't fake him out or anything like that. Area able to get the op frag. Like I said, Area will sometimes pick up the op for this team, but it is going to be the B hit this time around for sure, leaving Das all alone to try to take it out. He is going to be inside the kitchen in a 1-on-4. Now, 3 players are pretty low on HP, but he has to worry about getting flanked here from Arya and Wonder Room. He's just going to feed him that. That's a rough call there if you're Daps to try to crawl through that when you know Arya has an op somewhere in A. But yeah, Area51 is at game point, and like I said, I mean, there's going to be some buying ability from Lunatik, but it's definitely not going to be a full one.
Yeah, so this is again, people are complaining. Apparently my mic is cutting out, but it doesn't cut out for you, right? So that's really weird to me. So I'll have to sort that out for maybe the next time if I get.
Is it maybe me? Have I been lagging out or something?
No, you've been fine. It is me.
I know we had that issue before, that's why I asked.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just not sure what it is. So I do apologize, guys. I am holding down my mic, and Dustin can hear me while I'm talking, so I'm not sure what it is.
Well, I don't know, man. I do not know, but what I do know is that Lunatik seems to be on the brink of losing this match here, as they've already lost a player, and of course they only have one person with any type of firepower. Though I have to say those 5-7s can be kind of dangerous, so maybe I'm kind of selling them a bit short, but they definitely don't have what they want, and 51's definitely fully decked out, and so it's looking pretty good for 51. They're going to throw a B. Well, I thought they were going to throw a B fake and go A, but now I'm not so sure because the bomb is also making its way over towards upper B. There's only one guy even remotely in B area, and that's going to be the player there behind the van, which is going to be Shazam. If they take him out, I mean, B is just wide open. Shazam actually able to dodge that grenade somehow, and that grenade just missed. And he's able to fit some damage in onto Arya, take him down to 20 HP. And now, I mean, Lunatik has to know, hey, this is definitely a B hit, and now they're definitely going to go ahead and start rotating around. There's actually a big flank coming in. I think it got spotted. Yeah, it did get spotted, but Daz actually tried to go back towards mid with his flank to see if he can catch a kill there before coming back to upper B, and now they're coming back to upper B, but it's going to be 2 of them. Arya misses that op shot. That's going to be killer because this means Lunatik picks up 2 guns and really has a chance now at this retake situation. Though Disciple and Lawson are definitely holding on. This is going to leave Fugly all alone. 1-on-2. Can he keep this thing going? As he picks up the FAMAS, he's maneuvering himself around the site here, playing ring around the rosy through the site pillar, but Disciple is going to win that game and win the CSGO match as well. As it's quite a close game, though. It was definitely very back and forth up until the very end when we started to see 51 kind of finally get some momentum and put the game away. But the final score was still, at the end of the day, 16-13, which is a pretty close game. So definitely a good one to watch. And thanks to almost 2,000 viewers who were out tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks again for tuning in, guys.